Both of them played with Dublin on, Jesus, I don't know how many years ago now, but they both played senior with Dublin, and then just from there, they both were involved with their clubs. My mum was involved with Vincent's senior camogie team when I was playing with them, which was kind of gas. And then my dad was also involved with the senior hurlers in Crave. And then, yeah, to have them, and they know what it's like to be involved, and they know the commitment as well, which is good. So yeah, no, they're really supportive and they're really into it as well, which makes it even better.
What was that like for you then, being involved on the same team as you say with your mum?
It was interesting. No, it wasn't too bad. I'd say I didn't mind it too much because I was only there for the later end of the season, but I'm sure the girls loved it. I was actually lucky enough to be involved with the Dublin development squads from, like, I think it was under 12 was when it started. So I was actually involved with both. I was playing both under 12, under 13. And then there's actually a championship under 14 for football, whereas there isn't for camogie. So that kind of weighed heavily on playing more football than camogie at that age. But up until my first year minor, I was still playing both. And then just the commitment got too much, so I ended up having to choose one, and I chose the football, which has gotten me here today, thank God. But Mum and Dad would always be like, they would encourage you to do anything, and when I was playing both, they were both encouraging me to try both and manage it, so driving me around the county every day of the week, but yeah, no, it worked out well. Probably first year minor, I think there was myself and two others. We tried to play both, and we weren't performing for either team because we were getting pulled too thin. So I think just the decision in second year minor, I think all three of us might have chosen the football. But yeah, no, it got too much. The commitment at minor was significantly higher than any other age group. So yeah, we just had to make that decision, and we went with the football. I'm not really sure. I think the girls in Cork seem to make it work, and there's not many outside of Cork. I personally don't think it would be viable, but it obviously just depends on the management teams and like the players around you, like whether they like communication and stuff is so important, and between management teams probably the most important. But yeah, I just personally wouldn't do it. I think you're just better off committing to one and putting everything into that. Yeah, definitely. I think the solo and goal rule is brilliant. I think it really speeds up the game, and in ladies football that could definitely help. I don't think the 2-point arc now would be very successful in the ladies game, but no, definitely the solo and goal rule I think should definitely be brought in. I think players all around the country want more contact brought in, and I actually I don't think it has been too bad this year, and this has probably been one of the better years where the referees have kind of let it play. There is still that question mark over that margin rule, but to be honest, like, players just get on with it, whether some go your way, some go against you, so that's just the way it goes. But I definitely do think the contact and physicality in the game has gone up, and referees are letting players play on.
What are your thoughts on that margin rule?
It is what it is, and we know that it's going to be called, and we know some are going to go for us and some are going to go against, so I just think we need to get on with it. We're definitely hoping to bounce back from last year. Losing out in the quarter-final was definitely a big disappointment for us. It wasn't our goal at the start of the year. It never is anybody's goal to get knocked out in the quarter-final, but it certainly wasn't ours. So this year we were just delighted to get over the quarter-final and then ultimately get over the semi-final, but hopefully now it will be job done this again. Big time. I think going into last year, there was a lot of us who had been hurt before, who had lost in 2021 against Meath, and ultimately in 2022 lost to Donegal in the quarter-final. But in 23 we had an awful lot of new players who came in for their first year and got to chase success in 23, and thankfully that went our way. So there were a lot of players who hadn't gotten that hurt before and had only won in 23. So yeah, definitely built resilience within the group, because they then knew that feeling and knew that the hurt that came with it. Change is always good. Mick did an unbelievable job with us. He was there for 7 years and brought so much success to the county, and also to ladies football in general. He promoted the game, was unbelievable in that sense. But yeah, change is good. A new voice in the dressing room. Obviously Paul and Derek were both involved with us. Paul for a bit longer than Derek, but the lads are unreal. They come with the same professionalism that Mick brought, same drive, same determination, and yeah, no, it's great to have them. I don't think so. I think try to be as successful as possible here. Ultimately, you've been playing ladies football since you're the age of 4, or older, whatever. Whenever you start, you set out to try to be as successful as that in that. The opportunities girls are getting are unbelievable, and probably not something you'd get in many other amateur sports. But I think for now I'll definitely stick with Dublin and try to be as successful as possible. Yeah, looking for another success though. So we've had 3 wins out of the 4 that I've already been involved in, and obviously the one that we did lose was to Meath in 21. So obviously looking for not the same result this weekend. But yeah, no, nothing really changes. It's just another game to us. We'll prepare the same, and we've trained hard and we're looking forward to it. Yeah, big time. Every county team is the same. They're putting in the same hours. Even more of the inter-county teams are putting in more hours with their travel. We're lucky enough in Dublin that we don't have too far to go. But yeah, there is a sacrifice there, but you wouldn't do it if you didn't love it. And getting to an All-Ireland final and having that week after is definitely worth it, and it makes all the sacrifices worthwhile. It does, yeah. Everybody's coming in, you still have the same respect for your opponents, no matter who it is, and we know what Meath will bring, we know what they're capable of bringing, and they showed that against Kerry in the semi. But ultimately that's the challenge you want at the end of the day, and they're a great side, but hopefully we can combat them.